thoughts to bring and celebrate the work, which is research and a community outreach program. The idea was that we do the traditional form of knowledge dissemination through seminars, through webinars, because research has to feed back into the people who contribute to that knowledge building. So we really wanted to have systems or ways by which people who come in are able to interact with the pieces or the people and the findings.
40 years is a very important milestone in the life of an organization.
We are looking back to see the work we've done, but we are also using this event to share the definition of our future work. The main panels are around the future themes that we want to focus on.
ISST has had a history of studying women workers in the informal sector, as well as the care work that women do from a women in development perspective. ISST plans to continue this legacy of work and engagement and take it up as a programmatic issue, precarious work and care.
Gender-based violence refers to any type of harm that is perpetrated against a person, a group of people because of their factual and perceived gender, sexual orientation and/or gender identity, widening the concept of work, the place of work, which could be home, which could be street, an office or another specified space, travel to work, and also when travel is work.
Historically, research at ISST has involved close collaborations with grassroots women's movements for evidence building, for co-producing knowledge, for capacity building, all in order to support advocacy processes and initiatives for promoting gender-sensitive policies.
In this scenario, it is important to understand the gendered experiences of digitality, its impact on the self, one's labor, culture, type of information received, and its consequences. It is further important to understand that there is a gap within the gap based on the person's intersecting forms of discrimination, including women of disadvantaged communities, women with disabilities, and LGBTIQ+ people. The risk is even higher.
It's a 360-degree kind of event, bringing serious intellectual conversations, sharing of the studies, coming to this space which is an Interactive Nazariya, interactions with the different facets of women's work or the work of ISST. So the circular economy thing where you're actually seeing live. This bazaar of just a few women and producer groups selling their products, the films of ISST, and community fun and activities.
The women's movement that talks about the rights of informal women workers, acknowledging them for what they do and they continue to be unmeasured, unrepresented, and how do we make that alive? And so creating this exhibition where you don't have to explain yourself, but you put it out in words, in succinct words, in creative ways, by which people can take messages, people can get a glimpse of what ISST is about. I think thinking about that, ideating about that.
The ISST is very, very unique, very innovative in developing different kind of research. We adopted a lot of interesting mixing of different kind of approaches and methods with ethnography, the quantitative techniques. I think one is definitely this constant urge to produce, do good quality research and create knowledge through this kind of innovation. And the second, reaching out to new audience, always relevant. In the context. I
hope that ISST continues to occupy this space that is, between research, action and policy, which is again, it's an undefined space, but that has always been our unique positioning.
I really like ISST through community center to spread like water, to reach lakhs and lakhs of households. Through research, it grows like a tree with many branches like research, evaluation, training.
Nice to have space to actually reflect a little bit on all of the many things that have been talked about and presented over the last 2 days. So much time passes and yet so many questions remain the same. Important thing is that the context is changing.
The coming together of the various strands of ISST's work, which is also, part of its founding vision, that it's not only a research organization, it's not only a community-based organization, nor is it only doing advocacy work, but that somewhere all these three strands are being brought together.
I was appalled to see that the participation rate of women was so low in the statistics. And in reality, when you go out in the villages or you travel by road, you see women working everywhere. So the idea was to challenge the official statistics in order to be able to show that women were actually doing what is called work. When we are doing research institutionally or independently, some idea teases us. Picking up on that teasing question that really drives you. And I think at ISST you are driven on that particular subject and research.
To sustain project-funded institute through those years, it was tough. And if we survived, it was only because we had some really committed people.
I'm thrilled that this institution has become so strong and so intellectually deep. When I left it 20 years ago, I didn't know that it would sink or swim. And now to find that they've flowered on their own without grandmother or godmother, it's happened with its own work. That's wonderful.
अभी हम लोग नाटक प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं आपके सामने, तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप लोग इन महिलाओं की मेहनत को सराहेंगे।
शर्म और हम, पर आंचल को कहा इसके बाद एक क्वेश्चन मार्क होना चाहिए, शर्म क्यों शर्म करें?
वहाँ से 108 कदम पीछे जाते और अपनी कमान से जब तीर छोड़ते तो वो तीर दन 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 करते हुए ठाकुराइन की नद के आर पार होता।
We also wanted to blend in Devaki Ji's, our founder director's 90th birthday.
And her 40 plus years of founding ISST.
I'm here because you are celebrating my friend, Devaki Jain. We've shared our lives in our old age.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to live long. It's wonderful to build institutions. ISST must now be immortal because I cannot have immortality, but what we constructed should be immortal. And I want to thank Jahnvi and others who have maintained it and kept it going bigger than we could ever imagine.